Hey guys, welcome to Toe the Line. As you can see, my studio is a little bit different this morning. It's a little bit earlier. I tried to do this video last night, and again, something was wrong with my audio, so I'm hoping the audio is working a little bit better this morning. Out and about doing some errands and stuff, and so just wanted to give you a little quick update, go over some text messages and everything that I got from an informant, and kind of correct maybe some of the stuff that people got butt chewings for, or royal ass chewings for last week. Anyway, my name's John. Welcome to Toe the Line. Hit the like, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. All right. I greatly appreciate all of my followers, and keep up the good work out there. Everybody that's fighting the fight with the police departments and across the United States. Okay. So anyway, let's get started. Last week I did a video involving some apologies that were issued by the Jacksonville Police Department. One by Lieutenant Boutnick and one by Chief Hibbs, okay? Again, Boutnick, professional, Chief Hibbs, not so professional. But then I also mentioned in there where Captain Ryan Wright had been going to some leadership classes in hopes maybe possibly becoming the next chief, if and when Chief Hibbs retires, or if and when Chief Hibbs gets booted out of office because of his lack of leadership ability. I don't know which one's going to come first. I probably think retirement, because I don't think Mayor Elmore is going to do anything. But I got some information here that might support Captain Ryan Wright for chief. Maybe there needs to be some billboard signs. Captain Ryan Wright for chief. I don't know. Everybody up there at the police department, might think differently, but we'll go into that. So I got told by information that Captain Ryan Wright had gotten a royal ass chewing by by Chief Hibbs in reference to the information that I put out last week, talking about he's the leak, he's the one giving information to myself or Amanda Erickson, and that's not the case, Chief. That's not the case. You chewed the wrong person's ass. Yeah, Captain Wright's not the leak. I haven't talked to him in probably 4 years. Okay, I've seen him once, I think, out in town in that 4 years. So it's not him. You chew on the weakest person's ass, probably. I knew for a fact all those years you didn't like Ryan Wright. You thought he was weak. You didn't like him. You didn't have any. And then you promote him to captain because I think it's an easy target for you to chew his ass, because he's a soft person, or he's going to do whatever you want him to do. So, yeah, and then you got your good old boy Betterton, which you promote because y'all were like this, hung out and all that stuff, right? But anyway, I digress. So let's go back. So I got all these text messages here, couple of pages, probably 5 or 6 pages of text messages here that talk about some of the environment up there at the Jacksonville Police Department. And you can see the name of this video says Jacksonville Police Fear Factory, because I believe that's what it is a fear factory. Officers, lieutenants, and sergeants are working in fear, not from the public, but they're working in fear from the higher-ups, the captains. Captain Richard Betterton, Captain Kim Lett, Lieutenant Burrow, Lieutenant Ray Jones. Hey, guys, y'all are safe. Lieutenant Byford, evidently by the intel I'm getting, you guys are safe, and y'all are the bullies, along with Chief Hibbs. You're the brute squad. So, yeah. So let's get into some of these text messages here. Yeah, I get that. Let's see. Lieutenants and sergeants are in fear, as the officers are too. I don't know when Hibbs took the top spot, but it's not a good environment. I know for a fact Patrol Supervisor Jones, K-Rig, both Greenwoods, Hoffman, Summerlin are threatened often by Captain Betterton, their boss, and the officers often are talking about leaving. They talk about Lieutenant Byford, where he was arrested twice. How nothing ever happened, how he talks down to females at least, and that he's allowed to do whatever he wants to do up there. Many just hope change will come, but they don't believe that it will, because the mayor and the chief are good friends and have worked together for 11, 12 years when the mayor was an auxiliary. So anyway, then it goes talking about they know Hibbs is not going to apologize to the public. He hates that. I think it puts a sour taste in his mouth. The guy's an idiot, won't treat the public or his own officers with any respect ever. He can't be or won't ever be told he's doing wrong. Much nicer to the public than he is to his own officers, his own staff up there at the police department. Says behind closed doors, all he does is threaten and cuss people out and lead the department with fear. Again, the Jacksonville fear factory, right? He's real friendly around Mayor Elmore and Stephanie Friedman because I think they all do things together. They probably go to dinner clubs or supper clubs together. They go to weddings together. They hang out together, probably. Their wives, are probably hanging out. Husbands are probably hanging out and everything. Doing all these events, shaking hands, kissing babies, and stuff like that. But when they're not around, he's a complete asshole to all of his officers. If you're a lieutenant or lower, he will unleash nasty, profane-laced tirades at you. The captains himself and a few like Ray Jones, Byford, and Burrow are untouchable up there at the police department. They're untouchable. The rest just get screwed, especially the patrol supervisors. The patrol lieutenants and sergeants, they're just getting punished, evidently. They're just getting run over by Captain Betterton, and Chief Hibbs and probably Lieutenant Burrow, which, Lieutenant Burrow, you probably piss him off if you interrupt his Candy Crush at any time during the day. So he's going to come after you. But, I don't know. Anyway, so they go into talking more about Coburn. Like I said, he left the streets and went over to support services. Now, the reason why this is they're going to make it point out to you that there was this opening and he put in for it. And he was just the right person for the job. But I know better than that because, they like to use support services to get their problems off the street or to, minimize a situation type deal or to lie to somebody and put them in support services to further their career, right? And so there was an opening in support services, but the problem is that there was people that were interested in it that put in for it, but pretty much knew that they shouldn't do it because it had already been talked amongst all the higher ups that Sergeant Coburn was going to get the spot because he was drawing way too much heat to the Jacksonville Police Department from the Jack Nelson incident, from my incident over in front of the Chinese restaurant, from the whole Ronnie Ford situation where he helped his wife at the time remove marital property from the house. He admitted all these things on the stand, to the incident at the hotel where he assisted a bondsman going into a room after saying that they're not supposed to go into a room. He went into a room. There was no need for him to go into that room. He didn't need to step into that room, but hey, you know what? He did. And the police department says that he's the most honest police officer up there, but yet real quick, they jerk him and pull him off the streets and put him in support services. He's doing vehicle maintenance and he's doing uniforms and, probably over the front office and taking walk-in reports, right? So anyway, they talk about how that was, and his lieutenant, Coburn's lieutenant, was standing up for him, saying, hey, guys, why don't we train him? Why don't we work with him? Why are we moving the problem when we need to fix the problem? Well, evidently, Lieutenant K-Rig got threatened here. Let's see what it says here. I am told that K-Rig even asked, why are they moving the problem and not working to educate him or get him some additional help? But they just screamed at him and threatened him with behind-the-door termination for speaking up in front of lower-level officers, which created an environment of challenge or an environment to challenge the administration. Because don't challenge them. Don't challenge them. So, pretty bad situation all the way around there. Again, Jacksonville Fear Factory. I think there are some good officers up there, probably some good patrol supervisors up there. I think their hands are tied, and I think that they literally are scared to death of the monster Chief Hibbs, and I think it's shitty. Now, there's another thing here that they talk about is there's a list of officers that they know by name, and that they're talking about in fact that there's going to be several rookie officers, which they don't have listed here, but they do have some people listed by name that are probably going to be quitting before the end of 2025. So, or retiring, or getting the hell out of there, or going somewhere else if they can find a job without the chief or Lieutenant Burrow blackballing them from anywhere in law enforcement in the state of Arkansas. And that would be both, husband and wife, Sergeant Greenwoods, Sergeant Coburn, Lieutenant K-Rig, John Burton, Lieutenant Sean Jones, Sergeant Hoffman, Officer Junior, Officer Griffin, Officer Hernandez, Harrison, Rocha, sorry if I mispronounced that, Lambert, and Moody. And countless rookies just hired who all speak according to their people up there and according to their connections and people or their friends inside the police department, openly among each other, that they don't trust Betterton, Lett, or Hibbs. 3 of the top people in that police department, Chief Hibbs, Captain Betterton, and Captain Lett, and none of them are trusted. None of them. Bro, it brings back memories of not trusting Captain Kelly Smiley, Captain Joseph McCullough, Captain Kim Lett, or any of the chiefs up there. It's just been a toxic environment up there for a long time. So now I am going to say that this is one of those things where it's a bad situation. So at the beginning of this video, I talked about how Captain Ryan Wright got his butt chewed. Now, for leaking information. Again, Chief Hibbs, he's not the leak. He's not the one that's giving out the false information. Okay, he's not the one that's doing it. But Captain Ryan Wright, if you're watching, if you see this, you might want to know that the people of Jacksonville, or there's a lot of officers in that police department up there that are backing you to become the next chief. And it says, I am told the best person with the highest rank at Jacksonville is Captain Ryan Wright, and that Ryan wants to fix all these things one day and become the chief. Okay? It says it right here. Right here. One day Ryan Wright wants to become the chief. Okay? Speaking of which, I was told that Captain Wright, or Ryan, got a royal ass chewing by Hibbs about wanting to one day replace Hibbs when he retired, but that Hibbs screamed at him because Hibbs thought he was the one leaking info to me and to Amanda Erickson to make Hibbs look bad in hopes that the mayor would replace Hibbs. Ryan Wright wants to be chief and is the most capable of doing so, but even he has been yelled at and cussed at by Hibbs. See, Captain Wright, you got people there at the police department that are supporting you, that want you to be in that position. I don't know. Would you be good in that position? I don't know. Would you be better than what's already in that position? Hopefully, maybe, but I don't know. Do you know what's right? Do you know what's wrong? Yeah, you do. Okay, maybe Elmore needs to start considering a replacement. If not, at the end of 2025, Jacksonville might have staffing issues again at the police department, and the citizens will be the ones dealing with this because the property won't be protected due to the lack of officers, which is what they're dealing with now. I think they're a 70-man department, and I think they're running 50, 51, 52 officers. It's bad news, but they're gonna lose more. Hibbs is gonna run them off. Captain Betterton's going to run them off. He's going to threaten termination. They're going to threaten to fire whoever is the leak or the informant. But maybe they need help. Maybe they need the citizens of Jacksonville to listen. Maybe they need the mayor of Jacksonville to listen to somebody and say, get this man out of here. Put your big boy pants on and get this man out of here. I don't know. It says that maybe you can talk publicly about Hibbs, how he confronted and cussed at Captain Wright, Lieutenant K. Rigg, Greenwood, Coburn, Sean Jones, and countless officers tracked down previous Lieutenant Otay. Asked her if she ever had to clear the support hallway because Hibbs had people in his office that he was cussing at and was so loud that people had to leave their office. People had to leave their office and go somewhere else in the building or go out back because the profane language was so bad and the yelling was so loud that it was none of their business. A lieutenant clears the support services hallway. Absolutely, absolutely crazy that I hear all this. Do I believe it? Sure. Can I prove it? No. This is just information that I'm getting. He was through yelling. The people that they believe he was yelling at the time was Captain Washington, K. Rigg, Conklin, Lieutenant Boutnick, and probably Jack Stark. Could be wrong, but most of these names were people my source said Hibbs has unleashed royal ass chewings on. With Otay, Washington, Conklin, they're gone. They've left. They've gone to different. They've either retired or gone to different police departments. Got out of the toxicity of the Jacksonville Police Department. They had private meetings and all the drama. Don't know, but they've heard that, there's a lieutenant up there, patrol lieutenant, that's put in their 2 weeks notice or put in their notice that they're going to be leaving pretty soon. So I don't know. It's a bad situation. Says, at this point, I don't care what you release from our talks, as I'm sure Chief Hibbs will decide who to blame and just attack them anyways. That's right, Chief Hibbs. Pick who you want to blame to give the information. Pick who you want to, chew their ass, threaten them with their job, whatever. But you don't know who it is. You're not going to know who it is. It talks also in here that here's the next thing, that the officers up there want Hibbs gone. There's sergeants up there that want Hibbs gone. There's lieutenants up there that want Hibbs gone. And the fact of it is that they're pretty much, they're talking amongst themselves. They might not talk around the captains. They might not talk around the chief or whatever else, but I guarantee you there's phone calls that are made in between all of these and amongst each other. And the FOP probably doesn't have much power. But it says literally right here, okay? And I don't know. If Hibbs is not replaced, I know a lot of officers will help push for a new mayor candidate next election to replace Elmore in hopes that the new mayor will replace Hibbs. They are telling you that they are going to form a mutiny and try to get Mayor Elmore out of position. They don't want him reelected. That's bad, people. Citizens of Jacksonville, wake up. Help them out. The mayor, you're not doing jack crap. If you want to be reelected, if you want a chance to be reelected, which, you got Mary Twitty and all the city councils backing you or whatever else, you don't need the police department. You can shit on them all you want. You were one of them. But guess what? Your time might be just coming to an end. You only might be, a 4-year mayor. Because your police department does not support you. So anyway, guys, hit the like, comment on this video. I told you I was going to keep it short today. I did a live last night where I was out and about. It was kind of a slow night. I know there was police department officers watching. Again, Chief Hibbs, you don't know who my informant is. That's crazy. That you just chewed Captain Ryan Wright's rear end royally, evidently. But at least that's what I'm told. I don't know if you did or not. Not that you would admit to it. Captain Wright, if that was the situation, man, I'm sorry. But you do have people up there that want you to be the next chief. You do have a support staff up there that are quietly pushing for you to be the next chief, evidently. So I don't know what to tell you there, Captain. Good luck with that. Maybe if you stood up and went down and talked to the mayor, or stood up for these officers like you wanted people to stand up for you when you were a sergeant and a lieutenant and getting shit on up there at that police department 5, 6, 7 years ago. Maybe if you remembered all that and stood up for them, like you wanted people to stand up for you, that'd be a different type of environment up there at the police department. But who knows? Captain Betterton, Captain Lett, Lieutenant Burrow. Captain Betterton, yeah, Captain Lett, Lieutenant Burrow, whoever else up there, the Brute Squad, man, you're running them by fear. You're running them by fear. Chief Hibbs, you're the leader of the Brute Squad. Welcome to the Jacksonville Police Department Fear Factory. Guys, they turn off their comments on their Facebook page because they don't want to face the facts that they're doing shit the wrong way. They don't want to admit their problems. They don't want to admit their faults. They don't want to admit that they need to learn to do things a different way. They don't want to hear your criticism. They can take phone calls, and everything, so that's a good thing. They can take hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of phone calls. The mayor's office can still take phone calls. It's a bad situation. But guys, I tell you what, we're making changes in everything that we do, okay? Y'all are making changes, and I appreciate it. So again, thank you. Thank you for following my page. Thank you for watching the videos. Like I said, comment, like, and share. I try to do these videos once every weekend, like I said. But anyway, have a great rest of the weekend. Enjoy the Super Bowl tonight. Go Eagles. That's who I'm rooting for tonight. So go Eagles, and we will see you next weekend. Keep it right, Jacksonville Police Department. Straighten your shit up. You know what I'm saying? Maybe this week you'll find out who the department snitch is. I doubt it. Anyway, have a great weekend, or rest of the weekend, and have a good week and be safe. Peace out, guys.